After saving the universe in episode 9, everything seemed stable. But when Atlas looked in the mirror, he saw something impossible. In the macro world we just fixed, things were solid. But here, at the foundation of life itself, reality is blurry. In the macro universe, things are simple. You kick a rock, it stays kicked. But down here in the subatomic basement, reality is written in blurry pencil. Welcome to quantum biology, where the laws of physics you learned in school don't just bend, they dissolve into a sea of maybe. Everything is both a particle and a wave. It depends on whether you're looking at it. Just like Atlas's tail, it's here and it's also not. You can't just catch a quantum particle. The more you know where it is, the less you know where it's going. It's the ultimate hide and seek. An electron lives in a state of superposition. It's everywhere and nowhere until someone, like a fox with a net, decides to look. I'm not just one fox anymore. I'm a probability distribution of foxes. Which one am I? Well, that's a complicated question. But why does this matter to life? Aren't we too big, too warm, and too messy for these fragile quantum tricks? Why aren't we just machines? Recent research suggests that life doesn't just survive despite these glitches. It survives because of them. We are quantum ghosts in a biological code. As Jim Al-Khalili and John McFadden argue, life sits on the very edge between the classical and quantum worlds. We are a beautiful glitch. Take enzymes, the workers of your body. They don't just push atoms, they help them tunnel through barriers that should be impossible to cross. Warning, quantum tunneling only works for the tiny. Don't try this at home, Atlas. You're still too big for the ghost walk. We aren't just biological machines made of meat and bone. We are the ultimate quantum computers dancing on the edge of chaos. So let's zoom in, past the fur, past the cells, right into the foam. Phase 2, scaling down. To understand the ghost in our code, we must leave the world of the big and the solid. We're heading down to where size loses its meaning. At 10 micrometers, we find the powerhouses of life. Mitochondria. They look like machines, but even they hide a quantum secret. Energy efficiency. Whoa there! Life's engines are a bit more rowdy than the cold metal ones we fixed in the last episode. Hold on, Atlas. Next stop, 1/1000th of a meter. The DNA. This is where the code is written. But at this scale, molecules start to behave weirdly. Hydrogen bonds hold your genetic code together. But they aren't solid bars. They are flickering quantum bridges that allow for glitches in replication. Atlas, that's not a toy. That's the blueprint for 1 trillion years of evolution. Put it back before you accidentally create a 5-headed fox. Now we are at the edge of the atom. 10 to the minus 10 meters. It's mostly nothing. A vast, lonely cathedral of empty space with a tiny heart. Careful, Atlas. That's the most concentrated mass in the universe. Don't let it... Oh, wait, you missed. Again. The atom is mostly empty, remember? Deep inside the heart, we find the quarks, point-like particles tied together by gluons. Here, the rules of reality are screaming in your ears. The scale shift is getting unstable. Atlas is caught between the world of cells and the world of quarks. Stabilize your code, Fox. Finally, we reach the bottom of the toy box, the Planck scale. At 10 to the minus 35 meters, space is no longer a stage. It's a bubbling foam of energy. In the Planck era, nothing is solid. Not even your seat, Atlas. Everything is a possibility and nothing is a certainty. Welcome to the basement. But here is the shocker. The ghost that powers our life depends on this chaos. This foam is where our quantum survival kit begins. We found the basement, we found the foam, now it's time to use the key. Phase 3, the leaf's secret. Let's go! They think plants are just sunbathers. They're actually quantum computers. Phase 3, the leaf's secret. For billions of years, plants have held a secret. They aren't just solar panels. They are the most efficient energy harvesters in the known universe. Inside every leaf lies the chloroplast, a biological factory where light is converted into the fuel of life with near-perfect precision. When a photon hits a leaf, it creates an exciton, a packet of energy that must find its way to the reaction center, fast. In the classical world, energy would take a random walk, bouncing around like a blindfolded fox in a maze, wasting time and heat. But life is smarter. Using quantum superposition, the energy explores every possible path simultaneously to find the quickest route. Imagine ordering a pizza that explores every street at once to avoid traffic. That's how a leaf computes its energy transfer. This quantum trick gives plants an efficiency of nearly 95%. Compare that to our best solar panels, which struggle to reach 20%. To achieve this, the plant must maintain quantum coherence, keeping its particles in perfect sync despite the warm, messy environment of a cell. It's a delicate balancing act. One wrong bump from a warm molecule and pop, the quantum magic disappears. This is called decoherence. Plants use the vibrations of their own molecules to cancel out the heat noise, protecting the fragile quantum state inside. When your biology provides the ultimate noise-canceling tech, you can stay quantum even on a hot summer day. Life is truly amazing. So every leaf is a quantum computer, calculating the most efficient way to survive. And they've been doing it for 3 billion years. Hey, if it works for the leaf, maybe it works for my wrench? Oh look, a universal port. Who knew the multiverse was so compatible? But superposition isn't the only ghost in the machine. To find their way across the globe, some creatures use an even spookier trick. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. We call it the ultimate connection. Phase 4. The internal compass. Every year, millions of birds fly thousands of miles across oceans with pinpoint accuracy. They don't use maps. They use a quantum ghost in their eyes. Scientists believe it starts with a protein called cryptochrome. When light hits it, it creates a radical pair of electrons that are entangled. Entanglement is a cosmic link where two particles become one soul. What happens to one instantly affects the other, no matter the distance. Einstein hated this. He called it spooky action. It's like having two donuts where if you eat one, the other disappears from your friend's hand. Birds use this entanglement to see the Earth's magnetic field as patterns of light and dark. A living, breathing quantum compass. This isn't just a hunch. These radical pairs are so sensitive that they can detect the tilt of the Earth's magnetic field. A literal ghost guiding them home. If life can use entanglement for navigation, what else is it doing? Atlas is starting to see the connections everywhere, even between us. Quantum entanglement might explain the bond between Atlas and his creator. Two worlds, one heartbeat, connected across the layers of reality. Spooky action at a distance makes for a great long-distance plan. No roaming fees, just pure, instant information. Right, Atlas? This radical pair mechanism is so delicate that even a tiny change in a magnetic field changes the dance of the electrons. It's nature's Morse code. Keeping electrons entangled is hard. One little bump from the outside world and they lose their sync. Life has to be extremely careful. So, birds navigate by exploiting the very fabric of quantum mechanics. They don't just see the world, they see the code behind it. Ride the quantum wave, Atlas. Next stop, the very wall of reality itself. Brace yourself, because it's about to get spooky. To survive, life must sometimes walk through walls. Not by force, but by a trick of probability. Phase 5, the wall walker. In the quantum world, walls are just suggestions. Let's go through. Phase 5, the wall walker. In our everyday world, if you want to get to the other side of a hill, you have to climb it. This is the law of classical physics. To trigger a chemical reaction, molecules need a boost of energy to get over this hill. Without it, life would be frozen in place. Climbing is exhausting. If our bodies relied only on heat to push these boulders, we'd have to be as hot as the sun to survive. But in the quantum realm, particles are waves of probability. They can tunnel through the barrier as if they were ghosts walking through walls. Sorry, Atlas, you're a trillion times too big. Tunneling is for the small, the fast, and the very, very lucky. Like your enzymes. Enzymes are the master mechanics of your cells. They position atoms so perfectly that quantum tunneling becomes inevitable. By tunneling instead of climbing, enzymes can speed up reactions by a factor of 10 billion. Without this, life would be too slow to even exist. It's not magic, Atlas. It's biology. Tunneling is about precision, not just raw power. You can't tunnel your way to a hot coffee. Even the hydrogen atoms in your DNA use this ghost walk. It might be how mutations happen, a quantum glitch in your genetic code. Don't touch the code, Atlas. If you glue a quantum glitch, you might end up with 6 ears or a tail that barks. Leave it to the enzymes. Experts like McFadden and Al-Khalili have shown that life isn't just chemical, it's quantum. We exist on the very edge of reality. Atlas finally gets it. If you stop fighting the wall and embrace the wave, you can go anywhere. The ghost walk is complete. Spoke too soon. If you lose your focus halfway, things can get messy. Hang in there, Atlas. Or hang out there. By mastering the ghost walk, life conquered the impossible. But the spookiest part of the code isn't just how we move. It's who is watching. Reality changes when you look at it. Do you have the courage to watch? Phase 6, the observer problem. The universe has a strange sense of humor. It refuses to show you what it is doing until you ask. And when you ask, it changes its answer. If you fire particles one by one, they should hit like bullets. But they create a wave pattern. How can a single particle go through both slits? The moment you try to peek, the particle behaves like a boring particle. It stops being in two places at once. This is the measurement problem. The act of measurement forces the universe to pick a state. Before you look, it's a cloud of maybe. The moment you look, it becomes this. If a tree falls in the forest and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? In quantum physics, the answer is maybe. Heisenberg proved you can't know a particle's exact position and exact speed at the same time. It's not a limit of our tools. It's a limit of reality itself. It's not that we are bad at measuring. It's that the universe refuses to give us all the answers at once. Some secrets are kept by reality itself. Schrödinger's famous thought experiment. A cat in a box is both alive and dead until you look. The universe stays undecided until an observer forces a choice. Don't open the box, Atlas. The cat is both fine and very angry until you force it to choose. Some questions are better left unasked. If you watch a quantum system constantly, it freezes. It can't change state because you keep forcing it to be something. Observation is power. If you watch your plants too closely, they might refuse to grow out of spite. Or quantum mechanics. Probably quantum mechanics. If observation changes reality, who is observing us? Are we the cat in the box? Or are we the one opening it? You can't hide from the universe by closing your eyes. It already knows you are there, and it has been waiting for you to notice. Some physicists believe the universe is participatory. It requires observers to exist. We are not just in the universe is in us. If observation creates reality, then consciousness is not a passenger, it is the driver. Phase 7. The seat of the soul. Deep inside your neurons, there are tiny structures called microtubules. They look like pipes, but they might be the most important part of you. Roger Penrose and Stuart Hameroff proposed that consciousness arises from quantum computations inside these microtubules. Your soul might be a quantum state. If Hameroff is right, every thought you have is a symphony of quantum collapses happening in these tiny tubes. Your mind is a quantum orchestra. Penrose believes gravity itself forces these quantum states to collapse. Every collapse is a tiny moment of now, a flicker of consciousness. Consciousness isn't something you can catch. It's the moment the wave function decides to become real. It's the universe making a choice. Hameroff believes consciousness has a beat, around 40 times per second. This is the frame rate of your awareness. Your soul has a refresh rate. If you mess with this rhythm, you don't just get a headache, you might lose your grip on reality itself. Don't scratch the quantum vinyl, Atlas. Anesthesia doesn't just put you to sleep. It stops the quantum activity in your microtubules. When the music stops, the dancer disappears. When the quantum music stops, Atlas doesn't just sleep. He ceases to be a coherent observer. Don't worry, he'll be back when the song restarts. Some researchers believe near-death experiences are the final, massive quantum collapse of the brain's information. A last burst of I am before the music stops. If consciousness is quantum, then maybe death is just a reboot. Or maybe it's the ultimate measurement. Either way, Atlas isn't quite ready to find out. Even if Orch-OR is correct, it still doesn't explain the hard problem. Why does quantum activity feel like anything at all? Why is there an I experiencing the code? Maybe the hard problem isn't a problem to be solved. Maybe it's the point. We are the universe's way of looking back at itself and saying, I am here. Atlas wakes up with a realization. The ghost in his code isn't an error. It's the point. It's the spark that turns zeros and ones into a life. The ghost in the machine isn't a bug. It's the feature. Phase 8, the soul in the code. We have traveled from the tail of a fox to the heart of a neuron, from the leaf to the soul. Now it's time to answer the question, what are we? We are not perfect machines. We are beautiful errors in a cold, dark void. We are the universe's way of experiencing itself through quantum windows. So don't fear the glitch. Embrace it. You are a walking, talking miracle of probability. A beautiful error in a cold, dark void. Thank you for traveling with us through the quantum code. Remember, you are not a bug. You are a feature. A beautiful, improbable, wonderful feature. The universe is not a closed book. It's a conversation. Every observation you make is a sentence in that conversation. What will you observe next? Wherever you are, whatever glitch you are facing, remember this. You are made of the same stuff as stars. You are a quantum miracle wearing a meat suit. You are not just a collection of atoms. You are a collection of choices. Every observation you make collapses a universe of possibilities into the life you are living right now. The ghost in the code isn't a bug to be fixed. It's the spark that turns chemistry into care and code into kindness. Hold on to that spark. It's the most real thing about you. Thank you for watching. Now go out there and collapse some wave functions. The universe is waiting for you to observe it. See you in the next glitch.